What I know is it's tragic beyond belief. Especially it seems like at holiday period, Thanksgiving, these guardsmen were probably thinking about coming home and maybe even the possibility of going deer hunting with their moms or dads or brothers or whatever. And just it's oh boy, it's awful. And so as far as what I know is, and I ask you to forgive my dress because I just ran in and when I found out about it a couple of hours ago, of course, naturally a lot of folks calling and everything, but a lot of senators from other states, stepping up and calling and surely expressing their well wishes. But I just what I know is we've got two wonderful men, heroes, warriors, friends, you know, comrades in every way, that they're probably fighting for their life right now. And we need to keep them in our prayers in a big, big way. And I know that this nation, it hurts. But West Virginia's always stepped up too. And we just know how great the great people of West Virginia are and all the stuff that we've done.
And our guard, they do so much for us. The guard is there for everything that we go through. I heard you were on CNN a couple of minutes ago, just reflecting back to how much they even, the flood. And just when you heard the news today, was it just like a kick in the gut? What was your initial reaction?
Yeah, it was that times some. I can remember just like it was yesterday, whether it be all the different things that happened when I was the governor, whether it was terrible windstorms or bad snowstorms or whatever it may be, they were always there. They were always there through all of COVID. General Hoyer and I worked arm in arm, and it was amazing what we did. I'll never forget, when we finally got the vaccines for the first time, we had 87,000 vaccines. He told me we had 87,000 vaccines that we just gotten in and they just gotten into a warehouse. He said, Governor, what do you want them to do? And I said, we need to get them in the arms of people right now. And that's where they rushed. They rushed to all the nursing homes and saved, I don't know how many thousands of lives. They have done everything. Honestly, I just mentioned, hunting a little, 14-year-old girl that we couldn't find for 6 weeks that we found miles downstream. Absolutely. They have been there. I have waded the mud with them. Absolutely. They're the best of the best in every single way. I can't tell you how much it hurt them, when people had lost their homes or maybe their homes had been flooded and had mud everywhere and all their possessions, their memories and everything, they were piled in a pile out in the street, and an inloader would come along in a truck and just load them into that, and off they'd go to the landfill. But they cared. They were right there with them, caring. And these people, in my opinion, are the best of the best, whether it be General Hoyer or General Crane. They worked with me arm in arm, and I loved them, and I will to the very end.
Is there anything that you can share with us or anything that you know about these two guard members, maybe where they're from or just any details about them that could give, people here in West Virginia a sense of anything about them personally?
I don't have that information yet. I would tell you, me, I would tell you it's dropping my hat. I do not have that information yet, but all I can tell to all West Virginia is just this: pray for our governor and our first lady. Pray absolutely for all those, especially these unbelievable families. We've got to some way hope and pray that these young men will get through this, because right now they're just clinging to some way trying to live. And so we've got to really, really say big prayers and just and be strong to be with those families, because they really need us right now.
One last thing, and then I'll let you go. We've still got, I think, 150 guard members in DC. what is your message to them? What do you want them to know tonight?
Well, I would say to them just what I said, when they were getting ready to go on deployments in different places all over the world and all the great stuff they did. And when they came home and over, I would just say just this. They step up. They step up for a reason. They love all of us. They love this nation. And absolutely, with all that, I can never do anything except thank them. Thank them for the bottom of my heart. They will always step up. There's 160 plus there right now. And what they've done is unbelievable. And we should be so proud. We should embrace them and absolutely let them know all the time how much they're appreciated and how proud we are of them. A lot of times we take them too much for granted, and that's not any fun. That's no good.